Boom, we're live. We're going to commercial break. All right, and we're live. MMA Complete Podcast. This is episode 20.
Episode 20.
Damn. 20 of the live stream, boys.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
How many is that live
It's just
stream?
for live stream, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we did the MMA Complete audio. I think we just did it for live stream. Although I could be wrong because we did the Roadie Sports Show for audio for weeks and weeks, months, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. This is our second show of the new year. How's your New Year's going, boys?
It's been a good one, honestly. A lot better than 2020.
Yeah, a lot better, right?
2020 in the past.
Austin's birthday coming up in a week. Mine coming up in 2 weeks. Got a lot to be excited about.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Day after for me is McGregor Poirier, dude. So that's a nice birthday
dude. You're gonna have a 2-day fucking party, aren't you?
Kinda,
So
dude.
we have two really exciting fight nights, or one exciting fight night, one pay-per-view coming up that are just gonna blow our socks off. Starting with fight night coming up in 2 days, Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar.
That's a good one.
It's a really good one. It's gonna be a great stand-up battle.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
Live streaming that too.
Yeah, well, if you guys are down, I can't.
Oh, yeah. Work.
Yeah, so come check out Austin Garvey next, or this cup coming Saturday, January 16th. 16th.
Yeah.
16.
There's actually quite a bit of undercard fights that are happening. Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
Joaquin Buckley's fighting. Carlos Condit's fighting.
Good fight.
This
right
is going to
there
be the
versus
first
Matt Brown.
UFC event on ABC.
Yeah.
This is going to be streamed right off ABC. You can go onto cable TV, no subscription necessary, and just watch some UFC, which is an unbelievable milestone for the UFC.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
they've had this deal with ESPN, and I
Wow.
think they used to have fights. They obviously used to have
Spike
fights on
TV?
Spike TV and on Fox.
Rest in peace, Spike.
Right.
Yeah.
And they used to be on cable, but I don't think they have been in a long time. I think that this is a good way for them to go, bringing the first big fight night of the year. Max Holloway's a huge star,
Oh,
and onto ABC. I think that's one of the reasons that they stacked up the undercard a little bit more than they should, because they want,
More names out
they
there.
want a bunch of names. And if you look at it, and this is something that you guys should know if you are going to live stream it, a lot of these fights are going to go the distance. We got guys like Carlos Condit. We got guys like Max Holloway. Joaquin Buckley has great potential for a knockout. But we have a bunch of smaller guys, and it makes sense to me that the UFC doesn't want to have knockouts on ABC.
Yeah.
They don't want the vicious ones. They want great fights. And
It's
they want
happened
technical
before.
master classes, which I
happened
think will
before.
happen.
But they don't want long and drawn out cut fests either.
You're right. Absolutely. I think that Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar is the most likely to go the distance. And we see that a lot with the main events. Max Holloway, I don't think, has finished a fight since – I don't think it's probably been like 5 years.
Yeah.
He's lost to Poirier. He beat Ortega. He lost to Volkanovski twice, all in decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and Max Holloway's got something to prove in this fight because, you're up on him. I'm kind of down on him. I've chose him to win though. I've chosen.
Yeah,
to
I
win.
believe he'll win this fight.
I think he's just more technical, and he's definitely got some power left. I don't think he's lost power. I just think he's definitely gotten tougher matchups over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't think this will. I don't think we're seeing the end of Max Holloway for a little while longer, but this is definitely a fight to see whether he's still, got it after those losses.
Absolutely.
I would love to see him win and then him fight Brian Ortega again.
I think that that's a little wishful thinking. I
It
think
is
that
very wishful.
Volkanovski will fight Ortega coming soon,
I believe
because I think that's obviously Ortega and Holloway are kind of 1A and 1B for number one contender, and seeing that Volkanovski just beat Holloway twice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's got to have someone to fight. So I think he fights Ortega soon, and I think Holloway fights Magomed Sharipov around the same time, and then the winners of those fight
That'll be a
probably
good fight,
somewhere
too.
in summer, I would guess. They're going to have – I think that's going to be the trilogy, because I think Holloway will beat Magomed Sharipov if they fight, And I'm sure that Volkanovski will beat Ortega.
Speaking of trilogies, report came out today. Dana White wants Nate Diaz to fight.
Oh yeah.
They said,
Go on.
What?
Did you see what else came out today? That the UFC's anti-doping policy no longer considers marijuana an illegal drug.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Makes
So now he
sense.
wants him to fight.
So Nate Diaz can come back. Yeah.
He's coming back. He said that it's not who everyone's expecting, but it's going to be a good one.
Right. I don't think he gets thrown to Conor right away because honestly.
But Conor came out and said that he would love. This is why I said I'm speaking of trilogies. Conor said that he would love to have a trilogy with him.
At what weight class?
There's a
lightweight?
report. Yeah, I would guess
And no,
maybe
Jorge.
welterweight.
I think it's not going to be Jorge either.
Nate's a little old.
There's a report that Conor's going to box Pacquiao this summer.
I know there is.
Pacquiao?
We've spoken about this.
So I guess they're
before.
represented by the same agent now, and
Really?
so they both have a lot. They really both want to do the boxing match. So
Why not? They
Yeah,
make
right.
hundreds of millions.
And that'll be
Right.
cool because
What the
Pacquiao will
freak?
actually stand in there and bang with him a little bit. I
but
think.
what does that mean for the UFC? What does that mean for his fight against Poirier if he's already thinking about Pacquiao?
Dude, if Conor McGregor gets knocked out
True,
in boxing,
he might think nothing of Poirier.
What if Conor has said
That's
that
a
he will
good
knock
mindset.
out Poirier in 60 seconds?
He
What
said that.
If he
He's-
says it, I'll believe it. I
What
really
if
will.
he's boxing and he's training so much stand-up that Poirier takes him down and finishes him in the first round because Conor's not even training off his back?
I know his
I would-
grappling's gotten really good lately.
If
That's what his coach has been saying.
Conor boxes Pacquiao this summer, everybody in the UFC, no matter how much of a fan you are of Conor or not, better hope that Poirier wins. Because if Conor beats Poirier and then he goes boxing, that division's going to be held up even more. It's going to be even more of a clusterfuck.
it's definitely
Yeah,
going to
that
be bad. It was so bad for the division previously.
Right? Yeah.
Previously, because Gaethje had to be up and coming. He had to get a lot of new fighters. I think. Does he finish him in 60 seconds? No.
No, he definitely does not.
No. he's
I think
being a
Conor's
little
talking shit because he
far
just
out.
finished Cowboy Cerrone in 60 seconds.
He
It's a
does
good-
look-
that's a good
is
ego
a
thing. though.
lot
No,
different
he
than Dustin
looks-
Poirier.
He looks fucking
Connor? Oh,
good. Yeah, like even his nutritionist said it. Like,
Yeah, but all these guys look good.
no.
Yeah, there's levels though. Like from what we've seen Connor at prior, he looks like he's almost evolved.
Right, but Conor kind of looks like he's like 175, 180, which means he's going to
Yeah,
drop
it's
like
hefty.
25 pounds in the next week and a half, in the next 9 days.
Maybe like 15 pounds
He
over.
looks like he could rip someone's head off right
Well,
now.
he's fighting at 155.
He's probably
I-
170 right now.
Yeah, he's probably a comfortable weight. I
That
don't,
would-
I don't think he's
That would be
bigger
all
than
right if he was
170.
170. If he's any bigger, it's going to be tough, and that's going to affect him going into the later rounds because this is going to be a 5-round fight. So far, there's been no word of the lightweight title being represented in this fight, so I guess that's off the table.
It
Okay.
is off the table.
Yeah.
It is.
You know,
Which that's good. Right? It is, especially
It's good for the
because
division.
I'm sure as soon as Dana heard that Conor might go box soon,
Absolutely
he said,
not.
"Fuck that," putting the title on.
Fuck
Then,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's gonna be Gaethje Oliveira for the title.
I agree with you. I think it is.
Yeah, it will.
It will. 'Cause you have to give it to Gaethje.
I think you're right. I think that you do have to give it to Gaethje, but
Gaethje loses.
I think
Yeah.
there's
that fight,
another
9
fight
times out of
that we're
10.
not talking about that's going to matter as well, and that is Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker.
That's a good one too.
That's the co-main event for UFC 257 lightweight battle between number 5 Dan Hooker and technically unranked Michael Chandler.
the solid
Betting
piss.
odds have Michael Chandler winning.
Really?
If Michael Chandler wins with the hype that he's had without even having a UFC fight, Michael Chandler's going to get put into that conversation.
Yeah. Of
Whether we
champion
like it
He
or
will
not.
he will get a shot.
And like it or not, especially if Chandler comes out, beats Hooker, and then calls out Gaethje, it's likely that Oliveira gets skipped
He's not
over
calling out
again.
Gaethje. He's calling out McGregor.
No, I think he's calling out Gaethje.
I bet you he calls out McGregor.
I think that Chandler, while the
McGregor's the
payday
champ
is
in his
McGregor,
eyes.
while McGregor's the payday, I think that Chandler came to the UFC to win a belt. And I think that belt runs through Justin Gaethje. And
Who's
so
who's had the belt last in the division other than Khabib? And all these people in conversation.
What was
It would be McGregor,
Connor,
no?
right?
McGregor would be the
It
last
would be
one.
McGregor, yeah. Because Khabib won the
So
interim title.
McGregor's kind of the champ.
But,
Dude,
like,
if you think about it, in a
But
sick
Poirier
way.
and Gaethje got interim title belts in that time.
In that time, they weren't never the champ, though.
They weren't ever the champion.
But I see what you're coming at.
Right, yeah.
But he kind of. I think he calls out McGregor. I really think he does.
I think you might be right, but I think he wants the title. And I mean, who knows?
I think he wants the money.
Because I think if he comes
It's
out,
a bit of both.
well, because think about it from a long-term perspective. If Chandler comes out and he calls out McGregor, Chandler's going to be waiting probably
Months.
a year
Oh my God, yeah, at least.
to fight McGregor. If he comes out and he calls out Gaethje, they might make that in 2 months.
He's not going to wait for him though, but he definitely is going to remember the call out because he's going to call him out, remember it, and then he could be the champ in what 2 fights?
Right.
Fight.
Did you guys get a
He's gonna
chance
have no
to?
choice to fight him.
Sorry to interrupt, Dustin.
Yeah.
You guys get to see any footage of Chandler? I didn't get to see any myself.
I have not watched any.
I
either.
really got to see how his wrestling is.
Yeah,
that
we're
fight, 'cause
really
that
gonna have to look
determines
into it more.
a lot.
It really does. Dan Hooker's a stand-up too, so if Chandler can get him on his back and he's well equipped to
Just
wrestle.
ground and pound.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, though. When we come back, we should soon be joined by Dylan. Dylan is going to join us via web, so that should be exciting. We'll have another opinion on the show. Follow us on all SFBNRI platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitter, all that shit. We are going to be coming back very shortly. Here's a quick commercial break.
Just sent out the fastest
Boom.
email I've ever seen.
All right, so we are
That was
back. We
insane.
just went over Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, as I'm sure we will be talking about throughout the show, and especially next week when we're more ready for it. This week, though, we got Calvin Kattar versus Max Holloway. We haven't talked about it too much. I think we're all kind of on the same page of who's going to win.
Yeah.
I think you know Calvin Kattar a little bit more than Austin does, and probably me. I've only seen 1 or 2 of his fights.
I don't know too much about Calvin.
So Calvin Kattar is from Boston.
Yeah.
I actually saw him live when I went to UFC 233, whatever it was. Mia Chichingannou won. Calvin Kattar is a stand-up fighter with several knockouts on his record.
Oh, okay.
Right. Max Holloway is by far the best fighter he's ever fought, though. We see that a lot with these guys that, they get 5 wins, lose to a good guy. They get 3 more wins and get put into that same position, and then they fight an even better guy. And it's like,
And
now's your shot, man.
He's fighting Holloway, who's a great guy.
Dude, Holloway is top 3 featherweights of all time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And Calvin Kattar is a little bit younger.
Mhm.
He doesn't have as much experience. And like we said, Max Holloway is on a 2-fight losing streak to the champ, Volkanovski, and he has a lot to prove. And honestly, I think he will prove it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Holloway is much better than his 0-2 last 2-fight record shows. Because I'm of the opinion that I think a lot of people are that Holloway should have beaten Volkanovski the second time. That fight was so close. I think it was given the champion advantage, the John Jones advantage, if you will, of, well, the challenger won 1 and 2, and you won 4 and 5, and the third round was kind of close, so we're going to give it to the champ. Right. And so I think Holloway picks apart Kattar. There might be a late stoppage, 4th round, if Kattar is just getting beaten so badly, but Kattar's a tough dude, Boston strong. I think Holloway wins unanimous decision in 5.
I think he also wins unanimous decision in 5. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, I could see that fight going the distance. Who knows? Let's go Kattar. Get a lucky punch and
I'm rooting for
combo.
Kattar. I would love to see.
Anything could happen in the UFC, though.
Absolutely.
It's a fight.
Anything. It's a fight. It's a one-punch game.
So
Calvin Kattar could rip one off his jaw first round.
Calvin
See you. Good night. You know
he
what I
could
mean?
walk out there and start ripping into the body.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So also on the same card, we have 2 welterweight fights and 1 middleweight fight on the main card, and all 3 are pretty spectacular. First of all, we have Joaquin Buckley on a 2-fight win streak, obviously with his knockout of the year last year. He's going to be fighting Alessio Di Chirico.
Don't know the name.
I definitely just messed that up.
But it was a good attempt.
Alessio Di Chirico.
De Chirico.
Di Chirico.
Alicia D. Chirico.
Charisse.
I think, well, at least we got our, linguistic expert over here helping me out.
I'm better than you right
So,
there.
we also have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Li Jingliang.
Okay.
Santiago Ponzinibbio is a veteran who I don't think has fought in a little bit. He's 28-3. So a super impressive record in the welterweight division. Both of these fighters are going to be looking to crack their names in the top 10. I think Ponzinibbio has a great shot at cracking into the top 10 if he does win. And then to finish it off with the co-main event, we have Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown.
I'm looking forward to that one.
And this is a fight that easily could have been fought, and honestly might have been fought in like 2008. Both of these guys are veterans of the sport. Both of them are, Carlos Condit's a former champion. Matt Brown is a former championship contender in the welterweight division. Carlos Condit coming off a win, UFC 254, 253. I think it was 253. I think it was Adesanya Costa. It seems like Carlos Condit is getting up there. He's 36 years old. Matt Brown's 40.
Yeah.
This is going to be a slugfest. And with these older guys, when you see the slugfest, it almost always gets ended with a knockout in the first or second round.
Yeah.
I would expect that, although Carlos Condit is a fucking warrior.
Yeah, I got Condit winning this fight for sure.
I do too. Matt Brown is a heavy hitter. Carlos Condit's tough as nails. They're both very old. I think this is going to be a knockout in the truest sense of the word, that there will be one move, whether it be an elbow kick, probably a punch, maybe an uppercut, that just drops the other one.
Calling it a mean right hook now from Condit in a second.
I would definitely. This is the fight that would get a knockout, because we said that there would be a lot of decisions in this. This is the fight.
I do believe so. Although, when you have two veterans like this that have huge amount of respect for each other, they've been fighting in the same division for 10 plus years, we could see a slow-paced fight that ends in a decision. I don't think that'll happen, knowing the competitors that they are, knowing their love for the sport, and really trying to be as aggressive as possible. Who knows? But Carlos Condit, Matt Brown is the co-main event, and that should be a very good fight. I'm looking forward to that. This whole card, it's not spectacular by any means, but what fight night is?
It's a decent
even fight.
It's a decent fight night as far as I go. We've been blessed with
the last
fight
night was amazing.
Yeah, that was insane.
It was really insane.
Both have a 75-inch reach.
We also got Carlos Felipe, who is the heavyweight knockout artist that just beat Jorgen De Castro, and we also have Phil Hawes, who took out the Australian prodigy in I can't even remember, Jacob Malkoon.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of international flavor coming in on this card as well.
I got Carlos Felipe.
You don't even know who's fighting.
I remember him fighting, and he was fast, and he looked good.
Yeah, he's a great striker,
and he had a lot of stamina too.
He reminds me of a Roy Nelson. He's a little big. Reminds me of a Roy Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of praise to give someone. I understand.
Jorgen De Castro, that's the guy that's in forward, right? Yeah. He messed him up. Jorgen De Castro was gassed in the first round. No offense, love you.
So
represent.
Do we want to talk about the fight night on Wednesday? I've almost forgotten about it to this point.
Who's even on the card now?
It's Chiesa versus Magny. I got Neil Magny.
Yeah.
That's about all we're gonna say about that card.
Magny.
Yeah.
257 we've talked about a little bit. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
257 we have talked about a little bit. You have other prelim fights such as Brad Tavares versus Antonio Carlos Jr. Early prelims, nothing really. So we're still 9 days away from the event. There is opportunity to get a couple more fights in, as I'm sure they will try to, because it's a Conor pay-per-view, and why not make it fucking spectacular? Yeah. All right. UFC 258, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns.
You love that?
Just got announced.
February 13th.
Thank you.
No problem.
Kamaru Usman, the defending welterweight champion, and I think the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC, taking on his training partner, Gilbert Burns. This fight was supposed to happen in December. It got pushed back because Usman had just fought Masvidal and wanted some extra time to train. I got Kamaru Usman all the way. Gilbert Burns is a straight savage. Like, make no mistake about it. He's top 3 in that division. Yeah. But I think Usman is just on another planet.
When you give the champ this long to you give him this long to prep, dude, come on. It's not even a question.
Right? No, especially since it won't be training together anymore.
Yeah. Kamaru Usman moved his family so that he could get a different training gym, because obviously you can't have the same training camp.
If he learns all the tricks that you're learning to beat him, but these two fighters know each other. That's what is going to be interesting about this fight.
It's going to be very interesting.
Decision?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if it went to a decision.
I think it's decision,
I
man.
think it's decision.
Dude, Gilbert Burns is a savage.
Yeah, but
savage. Gilbert Burns is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. Gilbert Burns also has like one of the best physiques we've seen in welterweight history, dude. Like George St. Pierre level. Kamaru Usman's up there too. I'm just saying Gilbert Burns is a very worthy competitor.
Yeah, he's a physical freak.
I think Kamaru Usman has the benefit of the doubt because he's been such a dominant champ.
Yeah.
But I think, he fought against Colby. That was his toughest challenge yet. I think Gilbert Burns may even be more of a challenge, especially since he knows the champ so well.
True. I depending on the pace of this fight, whether it's more stand up, I think Usman's going to wrestle him to the ground and he's going to finish him ground and pound.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was all stand up, man.
Think so?
I don't know. If you look at the fight between him and Colby, both Usman and Colby are great wrestlers, and that fight was all standing up. And I mean, Burns and Usman are both wrestlers and they know each other. And I think that, to shoot for a takedown is going to be almost more of a risk than it is to
get caught coming in.
Right. I think it is. I think that both of these guys know what it looks like when you're about to get taken down, which opens up for an uppercut, opens up for a knee, opens up for just a straight sprawl where they just bring you to the ground and automatically get back.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to be a lot of punches thrown. A lot of punches.
That's going to be interesting to see then.
I think
it's going to be really interesting to see Usman's cardio because he went 5 rounds with Jorge, obviously dominated, but he looked a little tired towards the 5th round. Jorge obviously was way more tired, but Usman looked a little tired. He clinched him for like the last 2 rounds totally.
It's interesting that he couldn't finish him. It's what's more off a 6-day note. I know Jorge's probably training every single day.
Right, but at the same time, who knows if Usman was trying to finish him?
Yeah.
Usman clinched him for 2 rounds straight.
I think preparation is big for Usman.
It is. Big. And listen, I got Usman because Usman is the fucking
Nigerian fighters have only lost 1 time in the UFC, just saying.
Usman, no, that's not totally true because there's a couple Nigerian fighters that are like 3-2 and 4-8. But then you got Adesanya and Usman, who together are something like 27-0 or 27-1. Usman's lost in the UFC 6 years ago. And then he hasn't lost since.
Pretty immaculate record.
It's an amazing record.
Pretty good, huh?
We're still waiting on Dylan. I did send him an invite. I think he got it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna text him to get his lazy ass on the pod.
Fell asleep on the cam.
Are we watching right now?
Yeah, he might be watching. Yo, if you're watching right now, Dylan, give us a like so we know you're there. But he's not on the stream down there.
He did have a like.
Another fight that has recently been announced is the 3rd attempt at trying to book Chimaev versus Edwards. That is March 19th.
This gets canceled. I don't even want to see it.
March 19th? Don't go.
No, I'm saying it now. If it gets canceled, I don't even want to see it.
Dude, the hype's kind of lost for me.
Yeah, it definitely
I think I'm just still bummed out about it, but I'm bummed.
I'm bummed about it. For sure.
What's crazy is that you have as soon as Edwards Chimaev, the second one originally scheduled for this Wednesday, was no longer. You had Edwards saying yo, let's make a short notice fight. Let's go. And then you have this fight that's now 2 months away.
I know.
Make up your damn minds, guys. I get it with COVID. I'm pretty sure Edwards got COVID the first time. That's something out of your control. I understand that. But when you got a guy who's supposed to be the next big thing, stubbing his toe and saying, I can't fight for another 2 months. Come on.
It was his finger. I said stubbing. I said that. I'm like, if this guy if he stubs his toe on the way to the octagon, I swear to God, and it gets called, I'm going to be pissed. Because, come on.
Imagine that he's walking out there just midway and he's just like, nah, I can't. Nope.
Dude,
no.
You have such a big opportunity, man, and you're letting it slip month by month.
What's big about this fight for me?
Let's fight.
We haven't seen Edward. I've never seen Edwards fight personally, but he hasn't been seen in the UFC in what, a year?
A year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half. Chimaev has been seen he's been blown up for the past 4 months.
Yeah, but if you look,
people can see what's in his arsenal.
Yeah,
Edwards only has old footage to work off of.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. And
when you have a guy like Chimaev, who is really, his game plan is to just do his thing. It's not to counter Edwards. It's to surround him and smother him and beat the shit out of him. And when you have a guy like Edwards who has very experienced and has fought other guys like that, who knows how to counter that game plan, and then what do you have for Chimaev?
Panic, possibly.
You're just looking around. You're like, oh, I'll try to take him down. And that's when you get caught, when you're not thinking things through. So I've said all along that I think Edwards is going to win.
Yeah.
But Chimaev, I mean, one-shot knockout speaks for himself.
Yeah, he's got power.
Really does. He really has power. He's going down to welterweight, though. His last fight was at middleweight when he got the one-shot knockout against Mearshart. So he's losing 15 pounds of muscle. Who knows? He still has a strength. He still has a technique. I'm not saying he doesn't.
That's true. And this is Edwards' weight class.
Look how Brian Ortega looked not fighting after 2 years. You know what I mean?
He did not have rust.
Amazing.
He looked amazing. He looked so good.
Probably one of his best fights.
Edwards could come out like that.
Two,
you know what I mean?
Top 3.
He could come out like that and look like perfection. I guess a no name.
What else? There was a couple other fights that I thought got announced recently. Am I mistaken? Can you guys think of any off the top of your head?
Other than
Cyril Gain is also on that
March 19th card versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
Yeah.
Really?
That is a huge fight.
Yeah.
Huge fight. If Rozenstruik wins, he's going to be top 3 in that division. If Cyril Gain wins, he's now 8-0, and he will be in the top 5. And then you're looking at the next guy for heavyweight.
Yeah, I really think
I'm not a big Rozenstruik fan. I think Rozenstruik's okay. He's a striker and he's a little fat. He got knocked out by Ngannou decisively when Ngannou was just throwing shit.
Yeah.
He just knocked out Rozenstruik.
Couldn't dodge all of them.
Rozenstruik then went to fight JDS. JDS won the first round and then got caught with a right hook, and Rozenstruik won. So, I mean, Rozenstruik right now is number 4 in that division. I'm pretty sure Gain is 8. That's going to be a great fight. Anytime we have a top-ranked heavyweight fight, I'm excited because you don't get to see him that often.
Yeah.
And the heavyweight division is the one that I'm always looking towards, like, okay, let's make something happen.
Yeah, let's make a superstar.
You got John Jones going up there. That's awesome. That is what you need to start the hype for that division. Now you need a couple more fighters to come up. You need Miocic and Ngannou 2 to happen so you can get out of the way so you can do something with John Jones.
Yeah.
We have Blades versus Lewis February 20th. That's a great fight, but it's pretty predictable.
Blades. Yeah.
It's pretty predictable. I mean, I'm a big heavyweight division guy. Ever since I started watching UFC at UFC 81.
Brock
Lesnar versus Frank Mir. That was the first one I ever watched.
Brock Lesnar is kind of what got me into the UFC.
And so,
honestly, ain't it fucked up?
It's so weird.
Right.
It's
and
weird,
you had guys back then. You had Andre Arlovsky was back then. You had Tim White, who was the 6'7" champ. You had Stefan Struve, who was a top 5 back in the day. Like the heavyweight division,
chin kicked in for sure.
The heavyweight division has never been stacked, and it's still not stacked. But it's had potential.
Huge names though. The top 5 is always fucking like whoa.
But it's because the heavyweights are so recognizable that they don't have to be good because there's not like so many other good people. I don't know really how to describe it, but you have
Would you say there's less skill in heavyweight just because of the swinging?
Lower tier, I'd say.
Let's give them
you got Stipe Miocic.
Let's give it an overall basis, right? Overall, if we were playing UFC 3 or 4, actually UFC 4 is out. John Jones is like a 94. Francis is like a 94. Ngannou is like a 91 because his wrestling is limited.
Yeah.
Then you got Curtis Blades, who's like an 87, 88. You got Derek Lewis, who's like an 85. You got Rozenstruik, who's like an 83. And it just goes the fuck downhill.
Yeah, 60s, 70s.
Right. And you hate to see it. I mean, Cyril Gain looked very good when he just fought someone. I can't remember who he fought. I think it might have been JDS. He fought JDS. And he beat JDS in the first round. So he looks good and he's up and coming. I would like to see him. I think Rozenstruik's a tough fight for him because Rozenstruik is number 4 in that division. I would have liked to see him fight someone like an Overeem maybe, who's still in that top 5 but is older and is more suited to fight a guy like Cyril Gain. You have Rozenstruik, who's just a striker. You have Overeem, who's a little balanced.
Yeah,
he's more of a Muay Thai guy, but Cyril Gain is too. And so if Cyril Gain gets knocked out in the first round by one punch, that helps absolutely nobody.
No.
Because you just creamed the biggest up-and-comer you have in that division, and then you elevated a guy who everybody knows isn't going to do anything in that division. Cyril Gain better win.
I think he will.
And Curtis Blades will win.
Yeah.
That's a possible fight coming up.
Right. And then you got guys like Tanner Boser.
Fuck Tanner Boser.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just joking.
Fuck Tanner Boser, man.
He let us down one time, so we're holding it above.
Big change in the USADA.
USADA.
Yeah.
USADA.
Big change.
What's the big change in USADA?
Don't say the actual word. Call it herb.
You can now smoke marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Fucking illegal.
Nate Diaz effect.
Nice.
Nate Diaz.
John Jones no longer has to hide under the ring when he's smoking. Good for him, man.
Nah, snorting.
What would you guys think of Nate Diaz versus Paul Felder?
Ooh. That's a little out of nowhere, honestly.
It is out of nowhere. I'm not a big Paul Felder fan. I think it was cool that he came in short notice, but I think he belongs behind the booth with Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier.
I think he's at his
You got
year.
so many other names. You have names that you can build up with a fight against Nate Diaz. You know, Paul Felder's not going to go anywhere. He could fight Nate Diaz and then retire.
I'd love to see
I
Nate
would
Diaz,
like-
Darren Till.
That's two completely different divisions.
I would
I
love
mean,
to see
Darren Till
that.
could come down to welterweight, and Nate Diaz could go up to welterweight.
Yeah.
Well, Nate Diaz rests around welterweight now. He's
But I'm
older.
pretty sure that the report I saw was that Nate Diaz is going to fight at lightweight. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I saw he's
That's
going
what
to
I
fight at
saw, too.
155. So if you can get a guy like Tony Ferguson.
Oh,
Tony Ferguson
that's
versus
a
Nate
great
Diaz.
fight. That's a great fight.
That is a hype ass fight.
I think that's a very hype
That's
fight.
a money ticket right there.
And if if
great
Nate Diaz wins, Nate Diaz gets shot to the stratosphere. Tony Ferguson, he was on a 2-fight losing streak anyway. If Tony Ferguson wins, now he gets put back into the picture. And Nate Diaz will still get a fight. It's his first fight back against Tony.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Tony could get hurt, but then again, Tony has to fight somebody. He has to get a fight to put him back, or he's just going to drop like he has been.
He
There's
does, because
respect
right
there.
now he's fucking bordering out of the top 5 almost.
Absolutely.
He
How
is,
about
yeah.
a guy like Shamzat Rakhmonov?
Ooh, Rakhmonov. Yeah, I like that guy.
That's a good fight.
Nate Diaz is overrated. He
I
might be
think
overrated.
he's right. I think Nate Diaz is overrated. I think
He's got a lot of hype around him.
if Nate Diaz never beat Conor McGregor, the Diaz brothers wouldn't really be anything. You know, they would always
No
have the
way.
name. They would have the name, the Diaz brothers. They're tough guys from California that like to smoke weed and do triathlons. That's cool and all.
They got the fan base. That's what the UFC loves out of them.
But that fan base was kind of there before Conor, and then after Conor, it exploded. And if you look at that first Conor fight, Conor took that shit on 3 weeks' notice and went up a division to fight Nate Diaz. You know, I think I don't know if I'd say overrated. I think that he is exactly where he should be rated, which is he used to be good and now he's middling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's also old. A lot of people don't understand. Like, you look at Nate Diaz, you just think of that fucking 26-year-old kid.
Right. He's like
He's
34. 38.
38. Last I checked.
Did you ever see he
might
won the
be Nick.
Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, and so did
I know that's
no.
what I mean. I was. I'm
Nate
glad-
Diaz won the
Nate
Ultimate
Diaz
Fighter.
did,
Did
yeah.
you
I'm
ever
glad you
see
brought that up.
the YouTube video of his first fight with the Ultimate Fighter? So they had this thing back in the day where they would bring everybody out on both teams, and they would do call outs. And literally, like, one guy from the team would step onto the middle, and he would walk up to another guy on the other team and say, "Let's go." And then that fight would get scheduled. And there was this one guy. Nate Diaz was on the yellow team. They were fighting the blue team.
Mhm.
There was one guy, I can't remember the name. He was this cocky prick who, after the fight, was like, "Yeah, I don't feel pain, but, you know, we got the best of me." That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz was interviewed. He was like, "Yeah, everybody's saying they don't want to fight this guy. I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't give a shit." And then he went up. He was the first guy in call-outs in the first fights of the Ultimate Fighter in the first week to go up to the guy who everybody thought was the best
Baddest,
guy on the
next
show.
up and coming
Yeah.
guy.
The first round,
Oh, he's 35. I was very wrong.
the first
That's his
round
brother, Nick,
was
probably.
even. And the second round, Nate Diaz put the best wrestling display he's ever shown against this guy, and he had him on his back for 4 minutes and then tapped him out,
You put him in
And-
a triangle,
rear naked.
rear naked.
And then Nate Diaz, after the fight, was like literally smoking a blunt, saying his famous line. What did he say after Conor? "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers."
Yeah.
Like, it's literally what he said in the Ultimate Fighter, and then he said it again against Conor.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's a great story, and he's a fucking publicity magnet.
He is fucking great.
Like, he's not top 10 anymore.
No.
He
for
used
sure.
to be
He's,
top 10-ish. It's not
Yeah.
top
Could be
10
top
anymore.
10, dude.
he was never
I don't think
contender.
so. Especially in the lightweight division.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. I
He's a money fight. Which is why Conor, Nate Diaz 3 makes sense.
Jorge.
Oh, yeah.
That makes
Masvidal.
sense.
Jorge and Colby need to get their shit together
Yeah, and fight.
and fucking schedule a fight.
Yeah.
Because that fight is going to happen. Like, I think they're both just saying, hey, Dana, let me get another mil. Let me get another mil.
Masvidal.
Now let me get another mil.
You know Masvidal really wants that fucking check.
You know Masvidal really exposed Diaz. I don't expose them how. It got stopped.
Oh, he did get. That's right. Yeah, YouTube King, thank you for the comments. We appreciate all that, but I think you're wrong about
He
that.
exposed
BMF
the
belt.
underskin.
Now, Masvidal was winning that
He has a lot
fight.
of scars
He
on
might
his
have
face.
even won 2-0, but that fight should not have been stopped. It was stopped prematurely, especially with the aura of the event.
Diaz is a ladder round fighter too. Like he's more of an endurance fighter.
It opens up the conversation for if Colby and Masvidal fight and Colby wins, does Masvidal take a rematch? Because technically, Masvidal is the BMF champ. Everybody. Masvidal is the baddest motherfucker champ.
It's not happening ever again.
With Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Presenting.
So funny.
Yeah, I don't think Masvidal wins that fight. I think Colby just takes him to the ground.
Yeah, I think Colby definitely outworks Jorge. And that's the biggest thing.
This is a weird fight, though, because Colby usually talks a lot of shit, right?
Absolutely.
But they used to be part of the same gym and used to be
best
training
friends.
together,
Live
best
together.
friends.
Oh, okay.
Live together.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
So I don't see this being a disrespectful fight. I still think Colby comes out and talks his shit about whatever he needs to talk about in the world.
Right.
But I really think Colby's gonna win.
Yeah, I think Colby's time. Listen, I think if Colby didn't get his jaw broken, he could have beaten Usman in the first place. I really think that he could have, because he got his jaw broken in the third and won the fourth round. I think that Colby is the second best welterweight on the planet. No disrespect to Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
And Colby sees this fight against Masvidal as his number one contender fight, as he should. I think Colby's going to do everything in his power to just shut up Masvidal, and I think he will. And I really don't think it's going to be that close. I really don't.
You don't. How many rounds do you see it going?
It depends. If it's a 5-round fight, which I don't think it will be, because I think both of them want to get pay-per-view money.
Yeah.
I think they want to get pay-per-view money, so I think they're going to go co-main event 3 rounds. I think it goes the distance.
Yeah.
If it's 5 rounds, I could see a stoppage in the 5th round by Colby.
I could see it going the distance. I really hope it's not a one-sided performance, though.
Yeah, but like you look at Masvidal, and he had, his last fight against Diaz has an asterisk. He won the first 2 rounds, kind of, sort of. Probably more than kind of, sort of. My memory might escape me. He beat Diaz. He knocked out Askren in 4 seconds. He had a good showing against Till. He knocked out Till.
That was fantastic. That was before Askren, but that was fantastic.
Let me ask you guys this.
Let's just fight back after.
Who's more hyped, Diaz or Masvidal?
Equal.
Oh, dude, that's
equal.
It's equal. They're the same personalities from cross country.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if they're the same personality. I think Jorge talks less shit.
No, they're both thugs.
They
really are just both thugs.
They're thugs, but Diaz is more of the I don't give a shit, so I'm going to say my shit. And Masvidal is more like, I don't really give a shit, so I'm going to let my actions speak words.
Yeah. Okay.
I dig that style by Masvidal. He's definitely more of a, I'm going to go back it up. And then I'm going to say how much of a dumbass you are afterwards.
Yeah, Diaz is a back it up type of character too, but I understand what you're saying. There's differences. But you know what I mean by they got that thug persona.
Absolutely.
To them. They just walk around. It's like an aura.
Right. They're OGs.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe them. Did you read that? Because I don't.
Yeah, I did. I did read it. He said that he got exposed in BJJ and wrestling.
I totally disagree with that, and I'm gonna leave it there.
But I think which is why Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz is a great fight.
It's a great fight. It's a tremendous fight.
It's a tremendous fight.
I don't know if Tony wants to take it.
Why wouldn't he?
Because he could lose. And I think Tony is looking for an easy fight. I don't think he should. I definitely don't think he should. But
Tony have to call the fight Khabib right now. He'd do it.
Well, yeah, because he'd get money. If he got the chance to fight Khabib in an empty stadium with not a lot of money, I don't think he would.
We all know what would happen, though.
Absolutely. Which is why he wouldn't do it.
Khabib would fuck up Tony Ferguson in the first 2 minutes of the first round.
Especially after what
take him to the ground.
Did to him.
Yeah.
That was really hard to watch.
Charles Oliveira is going to be the champ of that division. If McGregor stays, if he leaves.
I think he beats McGregor if McGregor stays. I really do. It's just the way he fights. It's not sluggish, but it's explosive and then just wet blanket.
That's why I can't wait for this. We've been talking about the lightweight division since May, getting ready for Khabib Gaethje. And then after that, we talked about it so much more because of the ample opportunities of these contenders. And after next Saturday, we will get 2 answers, and we will get a much more clear picture of what's going to happen, which I can't wait for. That happens all the time. Don't worry about that. What else we got? We got 10 more minutes, boys. We're actually going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for the like and for the comments. We appreciate all the support. You were watching MMA Complete. Zach Drapo, Austin Garvey, Mark Tosi. Check us out on all SFBN RI platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitter, Twitch.
All that shit.
Thank everybody for watching. And also, thank you very much to Nick LeBlanc, who had me and Austin on earlier for Title Time Throwdown. That premieres every Thursday night at 7 p.m. He does a lot of Boston sports, including the Bruins, the Celtics, and he does all the NFL coverage every week, including his weekly picks. We just did all of our picks and our thoughts on the playoffs, so go check that out on any platform that you're watching this. I'm sure that Title Time Throwdown from January 14th will be on there. So go check that out and check him out every Thursday night at 7, us every night at 8 p.m., and then I believe it's Ocean State Athlete. That is every Thursday night at 9 p.m. now. Boom, motherfucker. We back. So obviously, everybody tuning in tonight, everybody that's tuned in the last couple weeks, really one thing has been on their mind, and that's Conor McGregor. Can't blame him. You know, there's tons of fight that's going on. UFC is as exciting as it's ever been, if not more exciting.
I think it's at the top.
But Conor McGregor is on another planet of everybody else, at least in publicity.
Oh, yeah, he's a superstar.
It's not even close. Khabib's up there, but Khabib's gone. And Conor's not. So with Conor McGregor fight coming up, you will be seeing a couple changes to the show MMA Complete. One, we'll be changing our promotional commercial. That will be changed by next week. I should have done that a long time ago, but it will be done by next week. Also, in preparation for the pay-per-view that we do have coming up in 9 days, January 23rd, which we will be live streaming, 8 p.m. to about 1 p.m. So come check that out.
8 p.m. to 1 a.m.
8 p.m. to 1 a.m.
That would be a long ass.
That would be a 17-hour live stream. That would suck. So for that, we will be releasing several promotional items, such as social media videos in preparation, maybe a little bit of videos from the podcast you might see on Twitter, Instagram, all that. And we will be also writing articles and blogs. Mark, if you're down to do it, more than welcome to. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. Austin might be doing it too. We can put as many articles as we want because I think the more the merrier, honestly. Doesn't have to be long. 2-3 paragraphs, easy reads, and definitely going to be going more in depth as far as styles, different stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's something new that we will try. If it gets a lot of feedback and you guys seem to like it, we'll try to do that for a lot more of the pay-per-views because that would be, it's just fun for us, and it's just. We talk about it anyway, so writing it down is going to take us 5 minutes, and then we post it.
Yeah, you guys see us on camera, and we're talking about it, obviously. But off camera, we're literally doing this for about before an hour, after an hour.
Yeah, we hang out all the time, and we literally talk about this all the time. We could do podcast every other day just from sitting here, just from talking.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in the articles and the blogs, not only for MMA Complete, but for all the podcasts we have, go to sfbnri.com. You can go check out all of our articles and blogs there.
Facebook?
Or is that all the articles are on sfbnri.com.
Oh, okay.
So it also helps out the business. Any website views is just positive affirmation for all the hard work that we've done at SFBNRI.
Comments?
Definitely leave us comments. I'm pretty sure you guys some people have my Twitter and all that, at DrapoZach, at Garvey Austin. If you ever want to ask us questions or something, I'm sure we'd be more than welcome to answer them. Fun stuff like that. We want to be more interactive with you guys.
Yeah.
So definitely let us know about all that. If you do have any ideas for articles, either for the Conor fight or for anything else, let us know. That'd be a huge help. I do read all the comments on the videos as well. So if you just want to comment on the live stream or on a video, if you're watching it another time, do that, and I'll definitely check it out.
So now McGregor. McGregor.
Who you guys got?
And
no, like who
fight.
do you? Well, I want to we talked about him finishing it in 60 seconds. What do you think
About him finishing it in 60 seconds?
I think he finishes it in the second round, beginning of the second round.
Okay, I can see that.
2 minutes in. Give it a 2 minute window in the second round.
I think Conor wins
Minute
in
30.
the end of the first.
I
think like 4 minutes 20 seconds in. 4:20.
End of the first. Okay, so you're under the impression that he goes in and just takes him out quick.
Well, I think Conor and Dustin stand up for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I think
each other
Conor might drop him.
If
in the
Dustin's
first 2
stupid.
minutes. Not knock him out, but drop him.
Yeah.
I think Dustin will get a takedown in the first round. And then when they come back up, I think that Conor will finish it at the end of the first.
Okay.
I'm going to guess a left hook.
Yeah, little to no promotion in this fight.
Hmm?
Little to no promotion in this fight.
There has not been as much promotion. And I think, Conor kind of sells himself.
Yeah.
But, like, we saw way more promotion for Khabib. And we saw that months out. And it's 9 days away, and I've seen some commercials. ESPN's definitely advertising it.
Yeah.
But I don't watch a lot of cable TV, so I don't know how much commercials they have going on.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a lot on Facebook or anything either.
Right.
Usually you see a lot of YouTube advertisements and stuff. None.
And obviously,
Yeah.
after Saturday is when it's really going to start.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if I didn't see at least 1 or 2 advertisements for it a day.
Well, that's
that
true
week.
because all they really have to say with McGregor being the superstar that he is McGregor's fighting this weekend.
That's it.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any promo videos from
Right.
McGregor. Like that usually gets people hyped.
I think I've seen more
videos.
promo videos on
Oh, yeah.
Poirier than I have McGregor.
I haven't even really seen any on Poirier.
I saw one on Poirier detailing how he lost to Khabib, and he lost to Khabib, and then he fought Dan Hooker, but in the back of his mind, he wanted to fight McGregor during that Hooker fight, and so he said he's been training for it for like a year.
Yeah.
Like that was basically the video. It was only like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Huh,
But yeah, the promotion has not been there, which is why we got to come in and we got to promote the shit out of it.
yeah.
It's going to be a good fight,
It's
honestly,
gonna be a great
considering if Dustin has improved, which I believe he has,
I do believe he has.
Well,
but also how much Conor's improved.
You talk about how you had planned to. We planned to freaking have this at a bar.
Yeah. Once COVID restrictions lift up, we're going to try to get this podcast going to other places again. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I called Little Bear and they said they're interested,
Okay.
but they close at 8.
Oh, yeah. Well,
10.
Right.
Yeah.
for
I think it's 8.
pay-per-view?
I don't know. You said 10 before. But
No, that's still too early to finish
Right.
the pay-per-view.
Exactly. So, we're going to try to do that. Buffalo Wild Wings is another one on my list that I would love to do.
Bit of a loud environment, a bar for podcast.
No, it definitely is, but I would have 2 microphones and they would be like right here on us, and
like
I
one of
would
the
turn
short
the
ones
gain
almost.
off and we would be able to make it work.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I think a little bit of outside noise would, it's a
Back-
different
background
environment.
different
chatter.
aroma.
Yeah.
Better than.
More inviting almost.
Yeah.
Plus, we would be too drunk to care.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Heineken's would be empty in front of it.
All right, so that's going to about do it for MMA Complete. It's Zach Drapo, Austin Garvey, Mark Tosi. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, everybody, for commenting, liking, all that shit. Thank you guys for coming on, as always.
Always
Appreciate it. Dylan wasn't able to make it tonight. He probably will be here for the pay-per-view. He might even be here for the fight night. Who knows? Yeah, that's about it. For SFBNRI, for MMA Complete, thank you, everybody, for joining. Stay tuned for I'm so sorry if I get this wrong. I believe it's Ocean State Athlete Podcast with Chris Carbone Jr., who had a very exciting podcast last week. They got a lot of views, and they have a lot of interesting topics. Chris Carbone Jr., another person who puts out a lot of articles. He does a high school spotlight athlete of the week kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
So definitely go check that out. SFBNRI.com is where you can check out all the articles. I'm tired of talking. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We will see you Saturday night for the live stream, and we will see you every Thursday night at 8 p.m., and we will definitely see you Saturday night, January 23rd for the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier live stream. 8 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Sharp.
January 23rd. Come check it out. Thank you, everybody.